Hello, today I'm joined by Jamie Aspland from Jamsons. How you doing, Jamie?
Hi David, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Jamie, you're one of our newer RAM members, and I thought we'd just touch base with you. It's always interesting to see what sort of goes on behind the scenes, if you like, when somebody's making a decision to join a network, any network, but particularly this one. Why you felt it was sort of relevant to your business and what you feel it kind of adds to your customers. So let's talk a little bit about that. What first put ran on your radar?
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say or not, but I have been with a previous RAN member before, and I saw the benefits it adds to a company, especially if you're an independent agent in your town or your city or wherever. If you come up against some larger independent agents or some corporate agents, which I know obviously corporate agents can't be part of this, but you want to give across the message that you've got the personal service, which is what comes with a small independent estate agent normally, but you're small enough to cope, but big enough to care sort of scenario
Yeah.
where you are. I'm believing what I can do to sell your house, but if you want the social proof of buyers from all over or having a network of people, this is a paid referral system. And I must be honest and say I tell that to everybody. And people go, well, why does it matter? So because that's money's what makes the world go round. So for me, if you're looking at it and saying it's a paid referral system, it's not a I throw it
Yeah.
into the ether of what people don't know what our software system is, but they throw it into there. Go, why does it matter to you then? Well, actually, I work with that agent all the way through, and we actually share a commission at the end of it. And people click to that, they go, "All right, I get it now." So it sort of gives them proof that it's not just to throw their information out there, then forget about it. It's actually working with that agent or that area to get them fully moved or moved into this area, if that makes some sort of sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. And I suppose when you're out talking to prospective clients and they're thinking about moving, we always very often I know I'm from the north, so we always fantasize about a busload of London buyers turning up
Yeah.
wanting to buy your house, but it stands to reason that your buyer can, and statistically speaking, I think this is quite proven as well, very often come from outside of the direct sort
Mhm.
of catchment area. And I suppose I'd want my agent to have that ability
Network of
to
people.
service that. And there are very few people that specialize in relocation in that way.
I think it's an absolute selling tool as well, an absolute selling tool to a vendor on a listing when they go, oh, but I'm not going to mention them, but Joe Bloggs, who's part of this big organization, has got agents because, like you just said, people are obsessed. Where I am, I'm an hour from um, King's Cross on the train from Grantham. We're obsessed with people coming from the south. COVID brought people from the south. It didn't. We had people coming from there ever since I've been born.
Yeah.
But that's what they're obsessed by. They're like, well, so and so's got 50 agency, 50 branches in London. I'm like, so have I. If that's what you want, so have I. So it's a real listing tool, a USP, and only one agent per area. And I think it gives that impression to when you sat in someone's front room that you can cope on a personal small level. But if they want to upscale it and talk about London buyers or buyers from out the area, like because we are on the main line and the A1, I can get buyers from anywhere. And if that's what really is important to somebody, and I know we have portals now which deliver buyers from everywhere, but if that's what someone really, really, really wants to know, so have I. I've got you a network. I can actually get you, if you're moving, I can get you a buyer from London and you're moving to York. I can move you to York and I can get you a buyer from London. If that's what's
It's
really important to
fantastic
you.
because it maintains your local expertise,
Yeah,
gives you still that nationwide reach. And I suppose that one of the added advantages is you're not just throwing things into the ether, and it's not just about the money, but it's also about the standards. So
yeah,
if I'm referring work to you on the other side of the country, I, when I'm handing my clients off, I'm usually quite precious about that, and I need to sort of be reassured that I'm dealing with like-minded agents that have similar
yeah.
standards. I think that's what you get in RAN, isn't it?
Definitely. And I think once you buy into RAN, and I have to be honest with people, I speak to agents about it all the time, and if your staff don't buy into it, it's a real shame, and it's a real missed opportunity for revenue as well as helping people. Because genuinely, you'll see someone on a viewing, and remember, Ryan, I've been with an agent that was with Ran, then wasn't with Ran. So I've been on 22 years. I've been on the flip side of what the good and the bad of it. And you'd be sat on stood on a viewing or a valuation or whatever, especially a viewing, and you're on a Saturday afternoon. They've come from out the area and they haven't quite decided if they're going to move to here because of the grammar school, and they're looking to get their son into there, and they go, but I haven't got my house on the market net. My first reaction was, no, no, I'm not part of it anymore. Because naturally, you want to help someone. And they go,
Yeah.
what, you've got an agent in my area? And I'd have it on my phone and I'd go, what's your postcode? And I'd go, yeah, it's what have I just done a minute ago? Uh, Happy to view or whatever it is in Mansfield. This is the agent. They're like, oh, I know them. I'm like, well, that's the agent like you're dealing with me. That's the agent in that area. Get them to value your house. And I think there's so much added benefit. Once you've had it, and if you use it properly and you don't have it anymore, you really realise that it's just that bit, that puzzle that's missing.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And one of the things that sort of a tip that I give to any RAN agent for free, and because we have conversations with members of the public all the time, and we do like to talk about credentials. So we might say, well, I'm a member of X organization or Y organization, and they normally have a name. So there are organizers, and I'm going to name some of them now. There's Property Mart, there's the Guild, and so on.
Hmm.
None of them quite say what they do on the tin, the same way that the Relocation Agent Network do. The minute you sort of say, I'm a member of that network, the public don't need to know too much to know exactly what it is. It's a connected network of agents that help people to relocate. And I feel like that's a great USP. It sounds great in the room, but it's not a concept that is rocket science for people, is it?
No, not at all. I hope you don't mind me sharing this story, but I've just literally spoken to someone on a piece of my notepad next to me, so I'll keep looking to my right. But I've spoken to a lady called Mrs. Smith, but she won't mind me saying her name. I rang her back, and she's looking to get her late mum's park home sold in Sleaford, where I live. I rang her back, and she said to me, "Oh, Jamie, just tell me again, where are you from?" And I said, "Oh, I'm from Jamsons in Sleaford." I said, "Oh, what? I've got lots of agents ringing." She said, "Well, actually, I'm trying to sell my own house in Derbyshire at the moment." She said, I was going to go, she told me a story, I was going to buy a Barrett home, and unfortunately that got reserved at the weekend, and I was on the pathway for an assisted move, but it's not now. But I was one of them clients that wasn't going to move, but now I'm going to move. So I'm going to get my house valued, and I'm going to get on the market, and I won't miss out again. And I said, oh, fantastic. I said, I'm part of a network. Have you selected your agent yet? She went, no, actually, I'm trying to find one at the moment. I said, hang on, let me have a look. Gives you a postcode. She fired me a postcode, which I'll give you the start of it. It's DE55. I said to her, I've got an agent in that area. You're in so and so. They're in Mansfield. She went, yeah, that's where you get an agent from, here or Mansfield. I said, yeah, fair enough. I said, would it be handy if they gave you a call? She went, that's another thing ticked off my list if you can get them to give me a call. So that lady, I've took that as from that one comment you made about where you're from, what you're ringing her for. I've now created a valuation which has just gone through to on RAN today, and I see that as revenue. That lady sees it as helping. I'm helping her, but I want to help her. Don't get me wrong. I want to help her, but that's revenue potentially for me and my business.
Yeah.
And I've not had to forcibly sell that to her. I've just helped her,
No,
and she's
because
been
it's a
really
service
helpful.
that you're
Yeah, she's
offering.
been
Yeah.
like, That's really helpful, Jamie." And I explained to her it's part of the network I'm part of. You don't, there's no pressure. You can use it or don't use it. And she's like, "Oh, that's two things ticked off my list now today."
Jamie, that's a brilliant example of the network in progress, how it works in reality, and actually how often it does actually crop up more often than you think in these conversations. And I
And
think
nobody
sometimes
will
when
believe
we
me by the way that's just happened. They'll be like, "You set this up," but
nah, no one's
I
gonna
wish,
believe.
Ran
Yeah.
could take a screenshot and
This
show
is
her the
really well
valuation come through.
scripted.
So yeah, yeah,
Really well
exactly. But
scripted.
yeah,
But you know what, Jamie? I think the other thing is that I think if you don't take the time to have those conversations, had you not asked those questions with her, had she should have sort of just said, "Oh, I'm thinking of selling my own," but you knew that she was out of area and you just went, "Well, whatever, it's not my patch, I don't deal with it." Um, not only not only do you miss out on the revenue, but it doesn't. She now trusts you. She trusts you to sell her mum's home. but
Yep.
she's also trusting you because you're actually helping her from miles away on her own home. I think it's a state agency at its best. We were just talking about this before we came on the call, how passionate we both are for decent estate agency,
Yeah.
but it doesn't get much better than this, does it, really?
No. And you're not going to win everything. Everything's not going to go right. But I was always taught you don't, the 80/20 rule and all that, which is true, but you don't need hundreds of clients. You deal with the clients you've got and deal with them well and get everything you can out of them. Don't be a busy fool. Do I need another 10 phone calls today to not deal with them right, or do I deal with that one phone call right and put it through? And she gets good service, I deliver good service, a manageable amount of people. It's sort of that's where it is. And I think RAN really does help the bolt on to everything else. We're quick to refer to mortgage lenders, brokers, should I say, not lenders, local solicitors, national solicitors, and there's that jewel which someone asked me not long ago when I started, what's the one thing I wouldn't want to do without, and that probably is the RAM bit 'cause it gives me. I'm running my own lane, but it gives me the chance to jump between other lanes and cover a bigger area.
Well, I was about to ask you if you'd recommend it to other agents, but it sounds like
100%.
you've already answered that question.
But I recommend it to other agents that are willing to put the effort in with people like you, David, and learn it and use it properly. Because I've heard agents before say, oh, I didn't get any value out of it. Well, I disagree with that. If you use it properly, it's what you put into it, it's what you get out of it. So I think it's very important for people to take on board the training that people yourself offer, and use it wisely, and it will. And I used to always say, one good completion a month. That's what you want from it.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't need masses to, and over the years that aggregates, and I think it's also good for reputation, isn't it? At the end of the day, if we can provide a service that just doesn't begin and end in one transaction, we're offering. I hate to use that word holistic, but it's more of a combined service that people can really sort of make a difference to people's lives. I think at the end of the day.
And I promise, if you word it right as an agent, you are helping people, not forcibly selling somebody something. I've never had someone go, do you know what? That's not helped me out. You getting me evaluation in my area or getting me property details from the area I'm moving to has not helped me out.
So, Jamie, do you take advantage of the of RAN regional meetings and so on? Have you had many of those recently, or are you
Well,
used
obviously,
to?
with just joining back into the network as of January, really, I've been to the one last month now, yeah, in March
Yeah,
in Northampton. And Northampton from a Lincolnshire boy is a little travel. So yes, you have to be prepared to travel,
it's
but
a nice
it's,
day out.
yeah, exactly. Do you know what? I came away from there buzzing, refreshed. It was, there's some familiar faces for me that I've known for 22 years in the network. And do you know what the nice thing is, I think, David, is nobody's in your area. So, when you ask an estate agent that's in your area, the first thing he'll say is, however busy you are, I've been one more viewing and one more valuation
Yeah,
busy than you. And you
yeah.
go, well, I'm not even said how busy I am. But yeah, I'm one more valuation and one more viewing busy than you because you naturally,
You play it up, don't you?
yeah, you
Yeah,
play
yeah,
it up, you're in it for yourself. You don't openly say to people, "Do you know, I've had a terrible day today. I've been awful." You go, I've been busy, I've done this, I've done that. And I think you go to a RAN network, and even though it's not like me speaking to somebody in, I know you mentioned up north, it's not like me speaking to someone in Newcastle where my market's totally different, my area, but it's not my market. So I can speak openly honest and say, I'm down on valuations where I want it to be. And everyone goes, yeah, do you know what? So am I. So am I.
yeah.
So am I. You go, oh, it's nice. You can speak to like-minded people, be open and honest about it, share your ideas without you thinking you're giving something away to a competitor because the stagers don't like to do that. And I
So,
think it's a real refreshing and the takeaway value you get from the people that are speaking like yourself, and other people that were that Simon Gates was the one that I was at. Really good information
you
and
see, so
and makes you
you're
wake
getting
up to it.
really good training. You're also hearing from some supplier partners as well, so you're
Yep.
getting new ideas that way. It's not really hard to sell, is it? But
Nope.
it's more of a sort of a mastermind day, effectively, isn't it?
Mastermind day with like-minded agents that are in your area, so your market might be similar, but they're not your competitor. They're your friend.
Yeah, no, it's superb, and the vibe has been, and the feedback has been the same from all of those regional meetings recently. That they really do add value for the agents, and it's sort of where they see it come to life. Jamie, I know you're mad busy. I'm not going to take you away from your work anymore. Just wanted to say thank you for being part of the network. It is agents like you that raise it to the standard that it's at. And thank you for everything that you're doing.
Not a problem at all. And thanks for having me back on board.
Pleasure. Pleasure. Always welcome. Thank you.